Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to the stream. It's me, DIGI. It is Monday, November 18th, 2024, and it is FS 2024 Release Eve. Happy Monday evening to you. I usually try to do scenery dev weeknights, and it's usually no audio. Today I was just tired, and Mrs. Digi said, listen, sometimes you need to unwind with your friends. Go and just go stream. Have fun, relax. So, number one, she's awesome. Number two, this is what she wants me to do. And sometimes she likes to watch me fly too, or stream or whatever. So tonight is rest evening. And tomorrow, hopefully in between tasks that I have for work, I'll be able to set up the download, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of traffic. Even though it's going to be a staggered release, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of delays in the installation, stuff like that. So I figure, set it and forget it, and just let it install and let it get itself set up, and that's it. Although, to be honest with you, it's probably not going to be that huge. It's probably going to be about half the size of the initial FS 2020 setup, and I think that's because the footprint on your hard drive is supposed to be somewhere around 50 gigs for the first chunk. So I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out what happens when we get to that point, I guess. But we will see. We will see. There's been speculation, there's been lots of talking, lots of previews. People had technical demos or invitations to the alpha back in, I think, September, October. Unfortunately, I never got the opportunity to do that myself, but at the same time, we're way beyond that. We're at the point now where it's okay, people are waiting to get into the concert hall and hear the show. So that's where we are. It's truly amazing. So here we are. All right. Give me just a few moments, chat. I'm going to take care of one thing before we get started. Shouldn't take me more than a few minutes. And then we will have a few different places we're going to fly to. Just some low and slow flights to not close out FS 2020 for me, because I still have to do some leftover work in the sim to finish some projects that I have. And I think that maybe one or two people will probably be hanging around FS 2020 even as the new release drops. But I would probably say, in general, the majority of people are probably going to be transferring over to 24 tomorrow. And I think the reason why is because people have had enough time to make up their minds and be like, you know what? This isn't going to be like a brand new sim. This is basically the upgrade or the incremental update that I've been waiting on for a while. And we're going to go. We're going to jump all in. At least I think people are. I usually don't have that much understanding what some people do to embrace or to refrain from embracing the sim. So we will see. We will definitely see. In the meantime, let me switch into the sim and get going. And I'll close some other windows while I'm at it. Let's see. That should do it. All right. So, I usually do airliner flights or light to medium hauls. Let's go ahead and check some places out that we don't normally spend a lot of time in. And I will start in one of my favorite places, which is Tokyo. We will overfly the city, probably in something fairly zippy enough without being too fast. Honestly, I think the Shock Ultra is pretty good for this, because if we take off from Haneda and we go check out the downtown, or if we just fly over the Rainbow Bridge and do a quick pass through this area, we will definitely enjoy ourselves. I don't think I have the Tokyo Disney scenery, so I don't think I'll see anything significant here. But let me start here and see what we can find. We'll go live time, and I am on East USA in case anybody wants to follow along. Do I want to find a Shock Ultra? It's a little slow, but I think we should be okay. All right, let's get started. Let's see how many places we can visit to really close out this this era of flight simming. Welcome aboard, everybody, and thanks so much for tuning in and hanging out. I like chatting with people, but I do appreciate my lurkers as well. You guys boost the channel algorithm, so welcome. Grab a seat. And just like that, we're in the cabin of the Shock Ultra, and we are in Tokyo. Now, there is a scenery pack for Tokyo Disney, but I'm just going to overfly it briefly, just so I can get a look at it from the sky. I mean, I'm probably not going to get that much details of it if I'm, you know, flying IRL and focused way more on, you know, flying the procedures and things like that. But this, I believe, is Tokyo Disney. Default buildings, but back in the day, I remember even as close back as like FSX, places like Disney World in Florida did not have that many buildings, and you had to get quite a bit of scenery add-ons just to see what these places look like. So I'm happy for what we have, and I'm guessing there we go. I was gonna say, I guess the castle is like literally off my wing. There's a lot of standard buildings here, but at the same time, you can kind of get a sense of what this place looks like. So there we go, and here we are. I think a lot of people are flying in MSFS tonight, probably because of the fact that 2024 is coming in. Hey, Monster SD, I am privileged to have you aboard. It's so nice to have you here, friend. I'm enjoying some FS 2020 before 2024 arrives, and we are in the east in Tokyo, or rather in Japan, on the outskirts of downtown Tokyo. And I am looking at the highways and the road system, but I mean this plane's junking about. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Fred. Thank you. I appreciate the heads up. I'm just I'm enjoying myself right now. Lots of turbulence though, little turb, so gonna have to do my best. Hey, the jump seat coming through with a rate of 41. Folks, welcome aboard. I am privileged to have you here. My name is DIGI Driver, and this is a generic raid message. Rommel, good to see you. Hello, everybody. Hello, Moose. Monster again, Cold Nebo. Hello. Thanks so much for saying hi.
Final approach checklist complete.
An Iowa Scotsman coming through with a tier 1 sub. 40 months of support. My friend, it is a privilege having you aboard. We are in Tokyo, and we are enjoying ourselves as we start to put the wraps on sheesh, 4 years of revolutionary flight simmerage, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that we've come as far as we have, but we are about to make a curtain call on FS 2020. Not because people are going to stop playing it in droves, but because FS 2024 is coming, and I look forward to it. It's been quite a while. Adieu, adieu, sweet 2020. Wow, we're going Shakespeare? Don't make me cry. Um, it's been epic. It's been epic and amazing. And what's the best way I can put it? FSX had me flying around the world. It did to an extent. X-Plane more so. But FS 2020 was really, for me, the first flight sim that made this concept of worldwide adventures such a thing, such a normal thing. Not really normal in as much as it made it so accessible. Well, okay. I mean, I'm in your camp, Moose, because for one, I'm a scenery developer and there's some projects I want to finish, and also because I am trying to well, I don't know if I feel such a need to rapidly jump ship. I mean, some folks do. I'm not judging. I think what I want to do is I want to I guess appreciate both of them. All right, hold that thought. Um, well, I'm definitely looking forward to 2024 because one of the biggest things that 2024 is going to do for me is it's going to make me appreciate helicopter ops so much more. The jump rate, the jump rate, the jump rate, the jump rate. Now, where does this go? Because I haven't followed this road route. It doesn't seem to go anywhere in particular except into a pool of water. Oops, forgot I wasn't subbed. So, yeah, I mean, FS 2020 still has a good chunk of stuff to offer. Obviously, 2024 is going to improve on the formula. Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I don't think that it's going to be as cut and dry a drop as say, going from P3D to FS 2020 was, or certainly going from FSX to FS 2020. And I think in general, you're going to have people that are going to experience, I don't know, more of an incremental change. And I, for one, am probably going to do all I can to appreciate FS 2020 as it is in terms of vanilla, like no add-ons per se, because I think a lot of add-ons are going to be a bit delayed in terms of aircraft. Scenery should be able to port over with virtually no issues, but I think I'm going to try it as vanilla as possible for as long as possible so that I can get the lay of the land and then I can understand precisely precisely what scenery development is going to be like in the sim. I mean, that's me personally. But I mean, I have to appreciate how far we've come in terms of things like photogrammetry in the sim, the ability to fly across dense landscapes like this. If we had oh, incoming F-22, see ya. If we had scenery cranked up to dense levels like this in P3D, we'd be having frame rate issues right now. So definitely FS 2020 made flying across realistic landscapes such a normal thing. Literally a normal thing. So I would be curious to see how they're going to improve on the formula right now, but at the same time, I'm, I'm grateful for where we are, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming. But I think part of the send-off is flying around places like this and appreciating the scenery. Tokyo, I think, has gotten progressively more and more detailed since like the initial release and since some of the first, I'd say, world updates. It's an interesting place to fly in, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what improvements they have. And I think one of the big ones is going to be some updates to photogrammetry. Because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the fidelity of photogrammetry is going to increase a little bit with 2024. I mean, maybe more than a little bit, but enough for me to take notice. I think the thing that I look forward to seeing the most is seeing that photogrammetry and performance improvements are great. Yeah, and honestly, um, this is a consequence of, I think, setting terrain complexity. I think I have terrain complexity set to 150 as opposed to 100 or 50 like GE Force Experience told me. But I think I discovered something. With GE Force Experience, it wants me to go all the way up to, like, say, 2K resolution and put a whole bunch of stuff to low. But I don't like, even though the frame rate counter tells me it's like, high 20s, 30s, 40s, when I'm in 1080p and things are like chugging along at 40s, 50s, 60s, it seems so much smoother and so much more enjoyable. Nick Gressler, very good to see you, my friend. Welcome aboard. Happy to have you. We are doing a bit of a send-off flight tonight as we enjoy places like Tokyo in the sim. I have been catching up with some rating individuals as we have talked about FS 2020, gotten a little sentimental. I'm not crying, you're crying. And talking about, I don't know, upcoming stuff, if you will. So, that in a nutshell is Tokyo. I can fly out to Haneda, or I can just hit the turbo boost and fly over Yokohama, but I think Japan's kind of wrapped up for me. Where else can we go? Where else can we go? I'm literally going to be jumping around from city to city as long as my sim lets me. And I think we're going to go somewhere in where? Europe? Oh, of course. I know exactly where we're going, chat. Hop on the International Space Shuttle as we go across Asia into the Mediterranean. We're going to go visit Venice. And we're going to change time and make it just about 10-ish in the morning. And we're going to use, if it's possible, the icon. I don't expect it to have, extremely perfect water performance, but I feel like I haven't flown the icon in such a long time. And of course we're going to pick the black livery. Let's go. The reason I'm going to Venice, of course, is to visit Venice. Visit the famous waterbound city. Now, I haven't actually flown in here on a actual airliner op in MSFS or X-Plane in I don't know how long. And for a while, when X-Plane was my daily driver, we were visiting a lot of European destinations. I don't know what happened. I think I just got so caught up in a bunch of other stuff and life that I forgot to, kind of like cycle my destination randomizer, if you will. I don't have software that picks my departing or arriving places, but there was a time, especially when I was focused on building a library of ortho satellite imagery, that visiting Europe was like a big thing for me. Europe and the Caribbean. Let me take the live weather off because I want to see where I'm going. And let's go ahead and bring it down. Do I have lights on? Now we do. So, where are we? I think we need to go this way. And I think we are overflying Venice already. Oh yeah, we are. Wow. Let's slow it down. Venice is amazing. I think other cities like this have existed throughout history, but I don't think I've seen or heard of a waterbound city more famous than Venice. I think that's the Vatican. I think. Should be. Or is that the Vatican? I don't know. That probably was back there. But it certainly is a amazing, beautiful place. It's amazing, I'm probably never going to get there IRL, or I'm probably never going to be in a spot where I'm going to be walking through these cities unless, of course, 2024 has a, explore. Oh, the Vatican's the room. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oof. Digi geography. I apologize in advance. But Venice is definitely an amazing place to wander around in, even in the sim. So that's exactly what we're doing. What amazes me about Venice is actually how well it works with existing photogrammetry. Well, with photogrammetry techniques that they've used now. If you really, pay attention and zoom in, it probably looks kind of like meh when you get up close to it, but honestly, this place is amazing. This, of course, I think is the train terminal. And some cruise ships. I don't know if I've installed. I don't think I've installed the ship or the water traffic mod, but this place looks good. Tinier cruise ship, bigger cruise ships. All right, let's see if we can put this thing down gently. Okay. Now, is it that you put the water rudder down first or something like that. I forget. The water rudder's right there. Just a gentle pull. Water rudder is now down. Ooh, there we go. Nice. This is the icon, Nick, and no worries. The CRJ is going to take your concentration. How's that for putting it down gently? Now I get it. I think they've improved the overall water behavior. I remember though, I remember how kind of like weird and all over the place the water effects were the first year and a half that it was actually there. Um, it's interesting how it's changed. Let me actually bring the weather back and see what the water's doing. Okay, interesting. Kind of a what am I going to say? A London fog-esque thing going on. You know, like one of those old TV shows or detective movies. It's almost time to restart. Reschedule. Stand by, chat. There we go. Interesting. Did I just jump through water? Okay. What this reminds me of was when we had that, there was this very, very, very brief period where we had a bunch of off-the-wall add-ons for MSFS, like, Star Wars, TIE fighters, huge ships, mecha, and it was almost as if there was a kind of different sense of what the sim could have become. This is real time. I think it's like about 5:30 in the morning over there. Not that many people up. Just us. This is kind of neat, actually. I can't even imagine. I mean, I kind of can. And as I go through a bunch of boats. Excuse me, coming through, pardon me, sorry. Interesting. They have this place well lit. Let's bring up the landing gear. That kind of makes me smile because it's like the ability to transition from water to ground is something I'll probably miss if they make it more realistic in the new sim. But that's pretty neat. Okay, so Tokyo's down, Venice is down. Let's see where else we can go. I'm probably going to be going to, I don't know, New York, LA, somewhere else. Let's see. The sun's not quite up yet, but the sun is plenty up in Australia and New Zealand. So, let's see. Should we do a visit to Sydney real fast? Why not? Why not? Let's go visit Sydney, although I don't have all of my sceneries and things and such. I want to kind of enjoy this place a little, and then I think we're probably going to go visit one or two more places and then maybe call it a night. I appreciate everybody stopping by, and I definitely appreciate the company. Hope that you've been having a good Monday so far. Mine was fast-paced in spots. Let's just coast down. Coming into Sydney. And we're coming out from the ocean. Over here, the weather's getting a lot warmer. I have never been. I think if Mrs. Digi and I ever visited Australia, it would probably be a part of a bit of a friendship tour, because there are more than a few friends of mine that live in Australia that I would like to go see. Oh wow, you lived there for 10 years. That's incredible. Let's get some lift. Port Denison. And the Sydney Opera House, I believe. Downtown Sydney. And I don't think I'll be able to recognize too many of the landmarks past the bridge. They fire a cannon every day from there? That's dope. Here's the bridge. That's amazing. Hey, let's do something which would absolutely get me arrested IRL and fly through downtown. Just clear the trees. Alright, everybody, suck it in. Woo! That was crazy. No, Nick, this is Sydney. I'm checking out Sydney right now. We just spent time in Venice not that long ago, which is kind of crazy. I'm just having fun, enjoying some of the details that make this an interesting deal, flying over cities in MSFS. Anzac Bridge. This is a cable stay bridge, right, Commander Space Dog? Because I mean, lots of countries have suspension bridges, but cable stays are actually pretty interesting to me. Wow. That's pretty neat. I'm guessing they're working on expanding this highway, probably building it out. Probably the next thing I'm going to do is fly over New York City, and you'll see one of the world's most famous suspension bridges. Actually, a couple of them, but the one that has more details is the Brooklyn Bridge. And we are, I'd say, out of the photogrammetry area of Sydney, which is okay. The landscape is interesting, that's for sure. Where did I put my phone? It's somewhere. Oh, right there. Yeah, duh. I think another reason why I'd probably want to visit Sydney by itself would be the sheer diversity of food opportunities. You all have it together. I mean, I think the same can be said for the US, but I think you know what I mean. Oh, man, kebabs. I can't remember the last time I had kebabs, but yeah, I feel you on that. Also, because I'm lazy, slow time. I'm gonna overfly Sydney International. It's a nice handcrafted airport, or I would say bespoke airport, because I don't have Sydney scenery here. This looks pretty good, actually. I would imagine, personally, I would imagine that most third-party scenery is just going to be straightforward, absolute plug and play with literally zero zero issues, like straight up. I think where the problems are going to happen are going to be where you have any scenery, and I mean any scenery, that has very custom or extremely um, code specific enhancements that are probably going to be affected either by the way that 2024 does things or times things, etc. But I would probably say overall 95 to 99% of the scenery add-ons you bought are just going to plug into FS 2024 without an issue. The only thing that might be a problem, as far as I'd imagine, would be anything with regards to topography, photogrammetry, anything influencing the overall layout of the land, wherever your scenery is. That's my perspective. I could be wrong. Color me incorrect, but I could be wrong. But yeah, man, not bad. All right. Now I think we're going to take you to one of the crown jewels of one of my normal jaunts, or what would we call that? Not old haunts, my stomping grounds. There we go. Let me take you guys to a place that I used to call the Big Apple. And a place like this deserves to have a whirly bird. Are you okay? Do you need me to help you? Let's get set up, and we will do a daytime flight. All right. I am flying with a gamepad, but also the sim accounts for that with certain allowances for aids and assists for cyclic and collective. And I have a general understanding of helicopter flight, enough to get myself into trouble, but there's certain things that I'm able to do with a helicopter in the sim. Minneapolis is a small apple. Okay. Ha ha, Minneapolis. Oh, well played, Commander Space Dog. Well done. All right. There's someone I'd like you to meet. Her name is Lady Liberty. I know how to make the helicopter spin and the rotor stay stationary. Wow. I spent more than a few years over here, and I was fortunate enough to make a visit out to the Statue of Liberty and to actually climb virtually the entire thing up to the crown. Back in the day, if you either arranged or made the necessary arrangements, or you were able to, or you had enough clearance to, you could actually go all the way up to the torch and be out there, like in the elements. But I don't know exactly when or if it's even possible to still do that. All I know is I went up to the crown. Nice. I did get the opportunity to actually go to the top of the World Trade Center when I was there, and I went up to I think the 88th floor observatory, and then I took an elevator all the way up to the 104th floor and actually stepped out onto the roof of the entire thing, and it was just like, wow. July 4th, I think that's 1976. So yeah, you as a person would be able to look out through those I guess you could call them windows on the crown. You could. But it was, even as a kid back then, it just felt so scrunched in there. You know, you weren't there for a very long time, and you had to go right back down the steps. But yeah, theoretically, I think it was possible to actually wind up all the way up top there, not on the flame, but kind of like in the candle holder. I heard it. I never knew anybody that did it, but such is life. Ooh, a Bell 407. Hello, Flymax. Yeah, definitely spending a little bit of time in New York. In case anybody wants to come along, I'm East USA. I remember some time ago, like when I was still in the area, there was a restoration project that was done on the statue. Like they literally had what are those things called? They had scaffolding up around her to treat the finish. And on our left we have Ellis Island, processing center for I guess you call it processing center for incoming immigrants. Back in the day, like in the late 1800s to I guess early 1900s, this was, I literally believe this was where you went when you first checked into to New York City. Hey, Kev, very good to see you, buddy. Dude, I'm so happy to have you here. I am, as always, a forgetful host, but anyone that's here that's a streamer, I would recommend you go follow Nick Gressler, Kev Mikwa, or as I like to call him, Kev, Iowa Scotsman, sheesh, lots of other folks as well. Oh wow, the fringe? And it's shiny? That's interesting. I might have to look up a screenshot or a video clip online. We're coming into literally not downtown, but basically the downtown south end of Manhattan. Off to my, I'd say 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock is Battery Park, and somewhere where my white dot is basically the Battery, and I think Wall Street in here. Wall Street is kind of interesting because it's one of the most, I guess you could call it, one of the most walled off areas of the city. And if I can get the helicopter down low enough to actually show you guys, I can give you a glimpse, maybe just the tiniest glimpse of what the place looks like. This is just a skin of the apple. Indeed, we haven't even gone up to the Empire State Building and to check out Central Park. But you can take a ferry from Battery Park up the East River. Um, you can do a Circle Line tour of the city. Governor's Island is just off my nose. And out on the distance is the Verrazano Bridge, and you're looking at Brooklyn over there. Okay, so let me see if I can actually do anything here. Is it theoretically possible that I could actually find Wall Street? It's possible, but it's kind of hard to do at the same time. Let me see. It's somewhere around here. Don't mind the photogrammetry level of detail here. Like I said, you kind of get to a point where you get close enough to the photogrammetry that it's just like, oh, well, it kind of just looks like, geometric shapes. I mean, there's a limit to how much resolution you can get with photogrammetry in the sim. And honestly, from 500 to 1,000 feet, you're probably not going to notice it that much unless you really are picking apart the scenery and going like, oh, this looks weird because you live there. I don't know. I don't know. It might be over this way. I could be wrong. But I think I'm already past. I think I'm already past it. I'm literally sneaking around downtown New York. This is crazy. I think I need a little bit more altitude to get perspective. Let's go this way. Okay, somewhere around here is Wall Street. But even if I never find it, it's basically like in downtown. It could be around here. Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty far up. I think it actually might be up this way. Wow. Afternoon. Good day for a heli-op. Well met, Fly Max. Well met. Nice work with the chopper. Okay, so I mean, enough skyscraper gazing. Let's go ahead and run up the spine of the city to Midtown. Now, basically, I think this like the finance district, all these high rises and One World Trade, which is where World Trade Center towers used to be, and you will see some reflecting pools down below. I'm going to stop temporarily to show you. That's where the World Trade Center towers used to be, and there was a lot of, I think, old like repair shops down in this district, and then you have Tribeca out that way. Oh, and of course I have to show you the most iconic suspension bridge, or one of the most iconic suspension bridges in the world, which is the Brooklyn Bridge. It's an amazing piece of architecture which remains established to this day, and you have vehicular and pedestrian traffic that can easily cross it. Pedestrian traffic crosses through the middle, and vehicular traffic is on either side. I think there is a train that actually goes there as well, but I know there's a train that crosses the Manhattan Bridge, and also a train that crosses the Williamsburg Bridge up the river. This is the East River. Nicely done. And you're looking at the FDR Drive. This kind of snakes up the east side of Manhattan. Oh, of course. Of course. I would, to be honest with you, I'll give you that one. The Golden Gate Bridge is it's probably not, I know it's not the longest bridge in the world anymore, but I think it's still one of the most recognizable bridges in the world, or a bridge that most people probably talk about. This is the Williamsburg Bridge, and it connects Brooklyn to Tribeca and Soho. So if I spin around real quick, way out here, I think the bridge is on Delancey Street, and the area that I'm pointing my nose at is I think this area is South Houston or Soho. Where I'm flying over is Tribeca, but the village is over that way, where the bridge lands. San Francisco, of course. I'm probably going to listen to that tonight. Thank you. It's a school night. Kev, love your soul, my friend.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good.
Thank you. Thank you for following M. Glickman. And I do have my water jug, so with as much control and delicateness as I can, I think I'm going to hydrate. Oh, thanks for the hydrate, by the way. Maybe I'll make that a command. All right. I'm happy I did that. Okay, so the buildings are getting taller, and we are coming up to Midtown. That building, that really pointy building you see right in front of me, that's another highly recognized landmark. That is the Empire State Building. Take care, Kev. Have a great night. And essentially, excuse me, the Empire State Building, I've also visited in real life, and it doesn't go up as high. The observatory, the highest point that you can actually go to in the Empire State Building isn't as high as the old observatory was in the World Trade Center towers. But you can come out, and we're going to get right up close to the building. You can come out to, I think, like the 72nd or 74th or 80 something. Where to park your dirigible? Not as many spaces, but they used to have a helipad on top of the MetLife building, which was actually called the Pan Am building, and I also just flew over Park Avenue. There's a higher VIP area. Oh, okay. I went up I went up pretty far where like kind of like that radio section is, but that's about as high as you can go, period. So we're going to get closer to the building, or we kind of are getting closer to the building now, and you can see that thing that kind of looks like a diner. This is the observatory, and you can get out, you can walk around the edge, not the edge of the building, but I'm saying there's a place where you can just chill. There's obviously a pretty high fence and stuff and such. You can look at buildings, look at at pigeons that get right up to the fence, and they're like, "Hey, you can't touch me, haha." So they're really friendly, and essentially it takes about, I don't know how long it takes now with like security checkpoints and whatnot, but it used to be back in like the late 90s, early nils, you could just take an elevator, an express elevator up to the top, and it would take you about all of maybe 20 minutes, 10 minutes to get up there. On the east side, the spine was used to dock airships. Oh, because you weren't kidding. Wow. You were not kidding. Clearly. Okay, and right here, this is the Chrysler building. And somewhere in between the Chrysler building and the MetLife building and the Empire State Building is the Rockefeller Center. But I can't exactly tell where it is from this angle. I can say we're coming up on Times Square. I think I'm over Herald Square, and somewhere around here was like the iron building. Oh, I think that's it. There's a famous triangular building over here, the Iron Building. Looks like a triangle. And of course, Madison Square Garden. And this is Times Square, where a lot of people go to like, do things like go check out the city, do New Year's Rockin' Eve, and there's like Broadway musicals that are around there, stuff like that. And I think this is the New York Public Library over here. This now is one of the biggest buildings in Manhattan. It's an apartment complex where I think building like the residences are like between, I don't know, $2 to $50 million. Ironic that Madison Square Garden is round, right? That's kind of crazy. All right. So I would say either here or in the next line over is Times Square. I'm gonna try to be slow because you can easily go flying past it. But Madison Round Garden doesn't have the right feel. Agreed. Okay, let's be careful. Let's take this downstairs. Okay. So, okay, there we go. There I see it. So we're coming in, we're coming into literally the heart of New York City, which is basically Times Square. And you can go check out a bunch of shows here. And how old is the photogrammetry here? I want to say this is like 2014, 2016. I don't see the New Year's Eve ball set up like it was at one point with the photogrammetry. So I'm guessing they updated this. And I think if you go up this street, this is 6th Avenue, and you can go past, I think, St. Patrick's Cathedral. It's either on 6th or 5th, and the Rockefeller Center was back that way. But the reason why I'm kind of going this way is because I want to see if Radio City Music Hall is around here at all. Let's see. I think it is. It's really hard to differentiate stuff here, but I think this might be it. Or it might be one street over. It could be one street over, I'm not sure. Or that could be it, actually. There are some cathedrals here. If you don't see St. Patrick's Cathedral, you probably see St. Mark's. I think. And of course, one of the most iconic portions of New York City is directly in front of us. This is Central Park, one of the biggest expanses of just natural wooded terrain to ever inhabit a city, in the US at least. It's been a while since I've been in the city, so your guess may literally be as good as mine, if not better. But Central Park, of course, is a major piece of the puzzle that is New York City, and honestly, it's beautiful. Central Park West on my left, and Fifth Avenue on my right. Below me are some icons. Oh, literally off to my left is the Museum of Natural History. I think no, it's over there. So over here is the Museum of Natural History, and I think this is the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and this, of course, is Central Park. And way off in the distance, you have the George Washington Bridge, and of course, what I call Expensive Alley, which is again is that high apartment building, which apparently in the photogrammetry is not completed yet, but this is actually finished. It's either this building or this building, which is like incredibly high and very expensive. Is the Guggenheim modeled? It should be, actually. I think the Guggenheim's on Central Park West. Let's see if we can find it. There's a church over here. That's pretty neat. Let me see. Hold on. Well, I know the Guggenheim. It's on the east. Okay. Alright, let's go find it. Let's see. The Guggenheim should be modeled. Okay, so MoMA's right here. Metropolitan Museum of Art's right here. So let's see. The Guggenheim should be nearby then. It's either on a lower street or a higher street. And I mean numbers, I don't mean, height. There it is. I think that's it. Yep, I think we had it. Jackpot. Or I believe that's it at least. And crash. I think I chopped too much. Throttle. Oh, it didn't crash. Cool. Okay, this is definitely Guggenheim. It's not as modeled as I would hoped. That's it. All right. So, on the east side of Manhattan, you've got Fifth Avenue. It takes you all the way down into the city. The west side is Central Park West. And then from here, you're going to get into other parts of town. Upper East Side, you've got like Queensboro, Triborough Bridge, LaGuardia's out there, Queens, Long Island Sound. If you go west, you go to the Upper West Side, which is Harlem, Columbia University, and the George Washington Bridge, which leads you to New Jersey, to Fort Lee, to the Palisades. And if you go straight up, you'll go to the just Upper Manhattan, and then it basically just like melts like an extinguished candle into the Bronx. And essentially that's about it. From the Bronx you can go up north to Yonkers and to White Plains. And what else? What else? Let me check something, chat. Stand by. Stand by one. I was just confirming something. Okay, so literally I'm about to overfly Columbia University. And we are basically on Hudson River. We're about to overfly Hudson River Drive. Inside this tree line is the Hudson River Parkway. And if we hard bank down, you're going to see the highway beneath me and then this kind of like road which crosses high over Harlem. And then that's Harlem in there. And then essentially off to your left you have what I believe is one of the water processing centers, which now has a whole bunch of stuff on it, which makes it look cool. And then Hudson River Drive kind of melts into the Upper West Side. And eventually what happens is you get, I think, 178th Street. And eventually you wind up, oh yeah, here's 178th Street. The exit kind of does this weird cut through a hole in the wall thing, which is weird because it just works. And then you know, you're done. So you can either go south on the Henry Hudson Parkway or north. And then what happens is you come across the George Washington Bridge, which is modeled but doesn't have, you know, the kind of custom object details that I'd like to see. And then you have the highway, which you really don't get a sense for here, but the highway essentially breaks off into either the piece that goes up north to the Bronx or the piece that cuts off into I-95. And the I-95 I-87 interchange on the other side of Manhattan, I think, has like the largest vertical displacement of any interchange, at least any interchange I've seen. I can show it to you really quick before we double back and cross into New Jersey. This funky building off to my right is the bus terminal, and also there's a train station underneath it, subway station. Okay, hold on. And let me go back. Just had to get something. So we'll scooch past some apartment buildings. And directly beneath these apartment buildings is I-95. And it's very hard to make out from this angle, but it's literally cutting into the side of a cliff to cut through Manhattan and get to the George Washington Bridge. The highway that I think, excuse me, on. The highway that's kind of like down here is I-87. It's extremely hard to put this into size, into scale, as also with the photogrammetry kind of like making walls where they shouldn't be. It's hard to describe, but at least for me, it used to feel like this interchange was huge. And it looks different because of the photogrammetry, you know, kind of like making holes in walls, and this is like a railway bridge, but off that way is the Yankee Stadium, and then you have the highway down here, all these kind of like linking arms that connect to I-95, and then this is the Harlem River, and that goes up north. So let's spin around and I'll take you guys out of the city and through Jersey. That's the George Washington Bridge up there. So if we give it the beans, we will get you guys out of the city. Let's see, what time is it now? It's about 12:15. I might make this either my last or my next to last trip for tonight, and then we'll see. Tomorrow I'm gonna do everything I can to make a day one scenery dev stream, no matter how stupid or flaky it feels. I just want to see if I can actually create something, no matter how small. Even like the tiniest airport. But I wanna make my mark as a scenery developer in FS 2024. So clearly, if I want to do that, it's gonna take effort. So we have now left New York City, and we are now crossing over into New Jersey, into Fort Lee. Fort Lee is the first city you cross when you come in. You can go up north to the Palisades. There's a whole bunch of lanes of traffic here. I haven't even bothered counting them. I might do that one day. But basically, Fort Lee is kind of like this big spread out cliff. And then there's a lot of interstate and US roads that break off here. 46 breaks off to the left, and then you have State Route 4 that goes off that way, and then I-95 just kind of starts angling down the hillside, and eventually what happens is you wind up over in the flatter part of Bergen County. So I'm kind of just showing you the arc just to kind of save time. And where you see the photogrammetry line end, that's basically the Hackensack River, and even further out you start getting to, I think, East Rutherford, and way off that way is Newark, and a few places actually in between Newark and I'd say like Patterson. But this is I-95. This is I-95, and then this is I-80. So to put it in perspective, Interstate 80 takes you all the way to San Francisco. And this Interstate 95 is the same Interstate 95. It takes you as far as Miami if you keep going south, which is crazy. But yeah, that was New York for you. And in front of us is Teterboro Airport. And let's see, over that way, there's a whole lot of expanse. Patterson and Paramus, I think, are somewhere in there. And then the further west you go, the hillier it gets again, and you wind up leaving Bergen County, and you wind up going to places like, I think, Suffern and Parsippany and Clinton. There you go. But yeah, I mean, there you have it, folks. That was a really quick run up through downtown and midtown New York City. It's amazing. Amazing to think that Microsoft Flight Simulator lets you fly through cityscapes like that and actually genuinely experience them. Or get pretty close to genuinely experiencing them, because photogrammetry has its limits. I'm interested to see what happens with photogrammetry when we actually get a chance to see it better. Hopefully it's improved. I'm thinking it's going to be. Maybe not that much. I will cheat a little bit and fly a helicopter before I go through like career mode, just to be able to see, groundwork and scenery close up and see what places look like. I'm very much looking forward to FS 2024, and I think a lot of people are too. I think we were all skeptic. Hey, Eric Flight coming into the chat, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping in. I am enjoying some FS 2020 send-off ops before 2024 pops in. I'm not getting rid of FS 2020 immediately. Obviously, I have some work to do, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to 2024. It's very good to have you aboard. Friends, if you don't know my friend Eric Flight, please go follow Eric Flight right now. Does provide flight sim content for the community, and I'm making an airport for him and his friends. Plymouth. Of course, I've been saying that for the past couple of years, but I really do intend to finish. A multi-stream solution would seem to work. That's great. Dude. And thanks so much for stopping by, Eric. Really appreciate you. And I hope that you have good rest. I should probably follow in your footsteps not too shortly afterwards, because it is a school night. Or in my case, a work night, but you get the idea. And let's see, where are we even? Is this? Oh, I know exactly where we are. This is, I'm flying over Patterson Plank Road, and this is the Meadowlands. There's a horse racing track there. There is there's MetLife Stadium. Ooh, wow, are you kidding me? This is custom made. This is actually custom made. Wow, look at this. Jets and the Giants. Okay, and in front of my nose is Route 3, and then you have the Turnpike in the Secaucus Swamp. Yeah, I think you and a lot of people are basically stoked for FS 2020, myself included. But yeah, I'm eager to see what it brings to the table and what it's going to do in terms of continuing to keep the flame lit for flying in general. I'm looking forward to seeing what it does, especially what it does to create a better footprint. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm going to get rid of every single other flight sim that I have. It just means that I'm going to have to make a little bit more room for that one. But let's see. That, of course, my friends, was New York City. I think I have time for like just one more flyover, and I want to see. I think I want to go to a place that I haven't been before at all, as in like ever, in any sim. And I think I know where that is. Now, I'm trying to figure this out. Can anyone tell me where the Great Wall is? Because I would like to see it, and I'm not sure if it's set up as a point of interest. I would like to see it before I shut off for the night. And my eyes are bothering me. Ow. Okay. Now, I haven't been to Pyro in a long time, but I'm going to wait till 2024 to see if Pyro's been improved. And I want to see if I can actually see the Great Wall. Because supposedly you can see the Great Wall from space. I just don't see a place where we can actually see it. So, hold on. I need to find out where the Great Wall is. So I'm going to go searching for it. Great Wall of China. I wonder if it's modeled. I'm not expecting it to be. Series of fortifications built along the historical border of China. So, if I take a look, okay, Yanqing. So, the closest place I can go to, I guess, to see it is Beijing. That's a little weird, but cool at the same time. So, there we go. Slightly north and west of Beijing. And of course, digigeography disappointing as always. Wow. Okay, so that's downtown Beijing. And so let's see, Yanqing. I'm laying it down. I'm zeroing in here. Okay, so let me apply a satellite filter. My guess is this would be either the Great Wall or a road on the Great Wall. So what I'm probably going to do is this. Yanqing District. There are a couple of airports. Okay, so I need to go below this, way below this. And probably somewhere around here is going to be where I'm going to see it. I'll mess around for a few minutes. I'm not going to spend too much time. If I can't find it, I'll probably just call it. We'll see if we can. And then I think we will be done for the evening. Thanks again to everybody that stopped by and said hello. Okay, so we are heading north. I'm going to do a bit of a sweeping right turn, see if I can see any man-made structures. If I can't see it from where I am, I'm not going to freak out. I'm not expecting it to be modeled. Okay, so we are sweeping. Was it modeled in the sim? I don't think it is. I mean, it would have been great if it was, but I don't think it is. Or I'm looking in the wrong place. Hey, Two-Faced Disc, my friend, welcome. Happy to see you. My friends, if you're not following Two-Faced Disc, you kind of should be. Especially if you like DCS at all. Hint, hint. But seriously, one of my friends at the channel and somebody that is planning on making even a slight comeback to streaming, was streaming some Fortnite a little while ago. So go check them out if you like seeing some variety. It is the end, but I'm not done just yet. I'm trying to find the Great Wall of China, but I think all I'm finding is a big toll booth. And I mean, I'm kind of in the area where I would see these structures, but I guess not. I guess I'm wrong. My guess is it's probably going to be somewhere either east or southeast of me or more north. I'm going to mess around with slew mode for a few seconds. And see what I can see. Okay, don't see it so far. No. No, and that's okay. Obviously, in terms of things like other countries' security things, there might be parts of the sim that are just not going to be representative of, detailed things elsewhere. And we'll leave that conversation there. And maybe diving back into Subnautica. Ah, there we go. There we go. Well played. Well played. I look forward to hearing more about that. Might even lurk a little bit depending on when you actually stream. But well played. I have taught you well. All right. So, all right. I don't think I'm going to find the Great Wall of China, at least not right now. Where else can I go? One more little spin around the block. I'll be here all week. Yeah, it's only Monday night. Tuesday morning now, technically speaking, but you get what I mean. Okay, so we checked out Japan, we checked out Italy, we checked out New York, and we spent quite a bit of time there. And what else? Where else could we go that would be great to go see? I honestly don't know. Honestly, do not know. So, Battle Mountain, Kingston Airport. Where the world is this? It looks like scenery, but I'm not sure. I mean, technically. Well, let's see. I haven't spent a lot of time actually doing low and slow flights over San Francisco, but I also haven't done the same thing with Los Angeles. And there are so many flights, good gravy. Also, so many airports. LA's got a lot of room. Coachella. Where is Palm Springs? That's Palm Springs. Let's do a little bit of overflying of Palm Springs, then we'll call it. Sounds good to me. Folks, to everyone that stopped by tonight and said hello, thank you so much. I apologize if I missed anyone saying hello to me. A lot of activity happened when we got those raids earlier, but also good to see you. It's been nice flying in FS 2020. The past 4 years have seemed like just this full-on blast of a dream. And honestly, I don't even know what to tell you. I'm looking forward to the future of flight simming, at least the near future. And I will be doubling down on doing my part to probably help the community by creating scenery, by being a part of the, flying around nice looking airports deal. Hopefully creating something that you will all enjoy interacting with. And I would like to learn more about interacting or having airports that you can more easily interact with per se. And I think part of that is going to be some fun research, trying to figure out how to get the um, the sim to do what I want it to do, but also how to actually enjoy what it is that's out here. This is a default version of Palm Springs, but Palm Springs is so beautiful that honestly, um, barely anything that's actually out here that is or isn't default isn't, pleasantly affected. And now it looks like we have a CRJ about to land. Sky West. Welcome down, Sky West. Let's go check out the plane. I don't know if there's much in the way of photogrammetry out here. Oh no, well there is. There is. I'm sorry. Oh wow, that plane just came out really quick. Wow, somebody's really got to go. That's an interesting way to get to the airport terminal. It's okay. AI traffic, you know. That's interesting. Anybody have any idea of like landmarks and such in Palm Springs? I was watching Charlie Foxtrot stream flights in California a little while ago, and he flew past the place where Wally World, as a part of like National Lampoon's Vacation, was filmed, and somebody mentioned something, and he talked about this weird architectural term called googie, like googie. I don't know if it's Googy or Googie, which was a kind of post 1950s, early 1960s architecture form, which was responsible for some of like the slightly futuristic geometric shaped houses or buildings or things like that that they actually had. I think that's a resort beneath me. This is kind of neat. This is kind of crazy. It's amazing the kind of difference of terrains and landscapes that this world has to offer. And FS 2020 has, in spite of all the criticism we've leveled against it, done a really good job of representing that and modeling that for so many people to enjoy. I gotta say, this has been an amazing 4 years of flight simming and memes and, flying along with people and record-setting flight sim experiences and people enjoying the sim. But it's time. It's time for a new iteration of flight simming to come to the fore, and for FS 2024 to really be something that people are going to enjoy for the next few months and years. I hope to become an established scenery developer and to do things that will help my family out in terms of an income, but one step at a time. And I think that one step starts tomorrow with the installation and with figuring out how to render my first airport in the sim. So we'll see. And I might even be one of the first people that actually releases an airport for FS 2024 on flightsim.to. It's probably going to be a challenge that I might eagerly take up just to say, hey, I built the first airport on Microsoft, like, on flightsim.to or something like that. So we'll see. I mean, I could release that real quick. People were like, hey, dude, all you did was put 2 buildings and a runway down. Come on. But that's about it. Let me park this helicopter up, and then I think we're going to go ahead and call it. So we're going to go ahead and scoot down to the GA area, which is literally in front of me over there. And then we'll set this bird down. I'm hoping that 2024 has much better flora and fauna in terms of better looking trees. I believe it will. I'm hoping that the photogrammetric representations of cities around the world are better and take up less space on our hard drives collectively, so that we can save all that space for more add-ons, which will inevitably come. So we'll see. All right, let's set this bird down. More, a little bit more. Clang. That's what we call thud. I was hoping for a smoother touchdown, but we're parked now. All right. Folks, from a sunny Palm Springs in California, I think we're going to go ahead and call it here as the helicopter comes to a complete stop. I will say, please check your surroundings to make sure you have all your belongings with you as you depart, and generally question your life's choices for landing with a whomp on the hard tarmac in a small helicopter. I'm wishing you a very good evening. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Like I've said before, if you feel bad at all that you lurked and you didn't say hello, please do not. I literally mean that. Like, lurkers boost the channel algorithm. And if you said hi, thank you so much. Definite big thanks to Iowa Scotsman for the 40-month resub, and to my new follows. And certainly appreciate everybody coming on over to say hello. It was definitely a unexpected flight simming stream for me, but also a bit therapeutic at the same time. I liked exploring areas like the ones that we'd been in before, and I think I look forward to a flight simming experience in the near future that's going to be even higher fidelity than what we've already experienced the past few years. Iowa Scotsman, thank you. You have a great night as well, my friend. Folks, I think I'm going to go ahead and chop it here. And like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus Christ. Now, since we have 15 of us, let's see if we can say hi to somebody and keep the love going. I don't know who I can say is here, but hold on. We do have some folks, and actually, there are some folks that I haven't said hi to in a while. Let's see. Follow channels high to low. Ibanez Player 200, Chill Maze, Fliggity, Ideological, We Fly Daily. Who else is flying right now? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. This is not high to low. This is actually a little bit weird. I'm just checking the raid check real quick. And let's see, Daytona Beach to Orlando. FNL Aviator is actually doing P3D. And let's see. Afrojet. Wow. You know what? I think we're going to give my friend Chill Maze a raid. Enjoy. If you're subbed, feel free to use the DigiFam emotes. If not, please enjoy yourselves. I hope you have a wonderful evening and a great rest of your week. Take care, friends. Have a great night, and we'll see ya. Bye.